Welcome back to the HoodCast.
The opinions expressed on the HoodCast are those of the guests and the host. They reflect no inference or agreement by HoodTech Productions or HoodTech Productions LLC or HoodCast LLC. The information presented on the HoodCast is not intended to offend any race, creed, religion, sexual orientation, or nation of origin. Please listen at your own discretion.
It is now time.
It's time.
Get ready. Let's do it.
What's good?
What it do, Willie Biggs? I think that it is time for the show, bro.
All right, it's the HoodCast theme song. It's about time we gave y'all a new one. So G-Mac got us in the booth. Let's go.
Hey man, we back. It's the show from the past. So get your drink and grab a seat because we're here. And if I didn't before, let me make it clear. We on Instagram and Facebook, turn us loud up in your ear. We're shining brighter than a hanging crystal chandelier. Hanging from the roof, shenanigans funny as hell. You know, man, we the truth. Without further ado, I hit the boards and grab the mic. We get online a little early so we can get our sound right. And then we go off and show off when we do our thing. We spit the truth to the world. I hope you understand our slang. I am the host who they call G-Mac the boss. Trying to make up for the lost time in the few years that we lost. We play that FIS music, it's the same thing all the time. My passion is so dapper, you can tell it in this rhyme. I'm good on my refreshments, I done went to the store. The moment we all be waiting for. It's our time now for the show, yeah.
All right, let's go. It's HoodCast. You know what it is, your favorite show, twice a week. www.hoodcast.podomatic.com, HoodTechProductions.com. G-Mac, don't tell them what it is, bro.
For sure, that's in the present, but it's from the past. They say the HoodCast was a one hell of a cast. It's the show that say that makes your stomach weaker. Instagram and Facebook twice a week. For sure, that's in the present, but it's from the past. They say the HoodCast was a one hell of a cast. It's the show that say that makes your stomach weaker. Instagram and Facebook twice a week.
This is Robot Rock, and now the moment you all been waiting for. G-Mac, Willie Biggs, and Code Cup.
What it do, world? What it do? Welcome back to another edition of HoodTech, just the HoodCast. www.hoodtechproductions.com, baby. This is HoodCast 311. We up in this thing, this beautiful November day. I am G-Mac the boss. Along with my co-hosts, one of them at least, Willie Biggs.
What's happening, people? How y'all feeling tonight?
Yo, y'all, said we was gonna have him on here. Again, it's been some years, boy. That's our age, boy. Willie Biggs showing his age. I'm still young.
The fuck?
But man.
What I do to you tonight?
Oh, yeah, do that, dude. I'm just, cutting the air.
Good weather.
Yo, world, we got him back. On the new HoodCast. It's been a minute. Epiphany, aka Big Piph.
Big Piff.
Do, brother? Big Piff in the building.
Yes, we got Herschel Walker's campaign manager here. Tell us how it's going. Thank you for joining us, Epiphany. Thank you for joining us, Piff, man. How's it going out there where you are? Where are you, by the way?
I'm actually in Little Rock now, but yeah, so it's cool.
You in Little Rock? Okay.
Yeah.
It's been some years, man. You were an early HoodCast member, HoodCast guest.
Yeah. I could tell because I think when I was here, G-Mac had a fade. So that's how I know.
Yeah. And I had more hair.
I just saw the stretch on the dreads.
I didn't long hair don't care now, baby. Long hair don't care now. Yeah, that's what they do.
I thought that was CGI. I ain't even
thought he had pulled a Marvel movie effect on you.
Yeah.
Use a little Instagram filter, little dreadlock filter over there.
Absolutely. That's what's up, man.
Well, since G-Mac is 4 hours away and I can't find a decent barber, I had to let mine grow too. So we all got hair down around our ears now.
I'm with it, man. If I pull that hat off, my stuff's gonna fall too.
I know. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you having hair down your back. I remember that. I remember correctly. Might be a little foggy. I may be mixing you up with, I don't know, somebody else. But yeah. But man, it's good to have you here. We're gonna talk with a Big Piff. What do you prefer? Epiphany, Big Piff? You like Diddy? You got like 5 different names.
Right. Really, whatever. But Piff is what most folks call me.
Piff. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what monikers people use because I know folks are real particular about their marketing and branding. So, no name or whatever,
So I know you one of the premier branding experts in the Little Rock music community. You know, I used to tease people. They be like, "Man, so and so got this new record coming." I was like, "Well, how'd you know? Could it be because he been telling you for fucking 6 months, or was it the billboard downtown? I don't know. Maybe it was the rooftop party. Maybe it was the radio ad. Could it be the magazine ad? There's only 350,000 people in the town. This motherfucker's over promoting, for God's sake."
Right. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know. G-Mac, what's that noise in the background? You got a video game playing?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Thank you for being focused on the interview. I appreciate your attention. So,
you know, I have to. Hey, the show must go on, and it must have a crew.
G-Mac gets away with a lot because
crew.
he handles all the technical aspect of the show, so he can literally sit there and eat food
once the show get to going, you know, I'll be more into it. Though, but that's, you know,
where the show gets to go. And it's only the three of us tonight. We don't have our two co-hosts. So we were actually, this is a good thing for me, Piff, because we don't have Jen and we don't have HoodTech. So you're going to be our official third co-host tonight. And I guess so. We got Epiphany here, and we're going to talk about your career and all that in the second and third segments, most of the second segment. But I want to know, now that you are a resident in another state, one, did you early vote?
Nah.
Are you planning to vote tomorrow?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I planned to early vote, but it didn't work out. So now I'm mad because I got to go with all the other people.
So that's why people early vote on.
Yeah, because it's quick.
It's quick. No lines, no COVID, none of that.
And
out. So tell me now, I've always considered you to be a rather astute young man. Do you think this is an election that could determine the future of our democracy, or is it just a lot of hogwash and the same old?
I like how we starting off.
I mean, yeah, you're a rapper. We don't talk about your music. We know what that sounds like.
Nah, bro. So
waste no time on that part.
For me to talk about, man. So somewhere in between that, like it's neither nor, right? Like it's always got to be like presented as doomsday, which is not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, I feel, how it's being presented. Like if this don't happen, doomsday happens. However, I do think arguably it's weightier than like times in the past. But so it does have like a little bit more weight or a lot more weight, but it's not like doom and gloom. Because that was the same thing was said about like, you know, when Trump got elected, right? Like the world's over.
Right.
But we still on this podcast. So I mean, it's important, maybe more important than a lot of other times for a lot of reasons, but it's not the end of the world.
Are you politically active in your local area? I mean, do you feel a need to get up and get out there and carry a banister? You meet Big Mike, Killer Mike out in Times Square and yell at random white people?
Yeah, so absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
So I feel like I don't know. It's a popular statement like everything's politics or everything's political. So I feel there's only so much time in the day, so much I could do, and so I choose not to dedicate my time on that platform. More so, I will support people who do dedicate their time on it, but I ain't gonna be out. Yeah, it's doubtful for me because also for a lot of it is on a lot of unpacking it for me, and you know what I'm saying. I like to hear y'all's opinions too. Is being in the entertainment world for so long, when stuff just becomes, when I see things that are supposed to be not entertainment become entertainment, I become a little. So right, so like literally, a heavy political game is just kind of like who's more popular has the more fantastical ads,
right?
To achieve actual like purposes. But I gotta pull away from that game because it's just a steep downward slope, right? It's just a steep downward slope of who could be more entertaining, who could, and by entertaining I don't mean like in terms of just tap dance, whether that's negative commentary, positive commentary. Right. So more so, I remove myself from that because I'm already in entertainment. I'm good, and let that be what it is, and try to get to the heart of the issue. The second reason is everything's hot takes nowadays, right? Like it's rarely nuanced conversations about these things. So for myself, I'm more of let me figure out let me listen and learn and enter those conversations and then participate. But the participation is rarely let me flash in the pan, entertainment. Fear is a big one. Like I don't really want to participate in that because I actually think that's counterproductive to what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right. Man, well, you know what? Damn, I'm gonna let you run the rest of the show. That was pretty good. I'm out of questions at this point. You asked all of them in one answer. But no, honestly, like I said, I've always seen you as an astute type of brother. Your marketing was always on point. You knew how to navigate that Little Rock scene. So I was wondering, after you got now you're moving into a bigger audience, and we're gonna talk more about your ambassadorship and that kind of stuff in the second segment. I was wondering if sometime you think politics, when you get ready to make moves, do you worry that maybe expressing a view may cost you some fan base or cost you some opportunities? I mean, we see some entertainers, they use their politicians, they use their popularity to wave their political flag. I don't know if it's to their benefit or to the detriment. Is that a concern of yours? Is that why you're not maybe as vocal?
Oh, no. So, no, not at all. So, I mean, do I think about it? Yes, but that's because I really think about everything. Well, as much possible, I just think different angles. So it comes up in the thought process, but not as much so as something to hinder me or help me. It's just something like so I don't.
So we gotta think about.
I'm trying to make sure. No, I'm trying to make sure. You're right. I'm trying to
make sure. Would you perform at a pro-life rally if they asked you to perform? That was a pro-life one. Yeah, they said pro-life. If we want you to come out and entertain, and we're trying to fight abortion. Would you come perform?
Yeah, let me tell you why I would. Because ahead of time, I would tell them like, "Hey, here's my vantage point on this, and I'm probably gonna say this on stage. So if y'all still want to invite me out here to say this point, let's get it." Right. So since I'm pro. Yeah, so I have no problem. I just like it's the same way. I'm gonna give you an analogy for it. It's like I host or used to host a lot of stuff, and ahead of time I would tell them like, look, I'm not like a dynamic host. I'm more so have my pockets on and so forth. So I'm telling you what you're getting, and if you still want that on your platform, cool. So if you have a pro-life rally, I'm like, look, I'm not pro-life. This is what I believe and what I'm gonna say for it, so on and so forth. I'm gonna say that on stage. If y'all still want to pay me bands, let's get it. Like I have no problem, you know what I'm saying? So the answer is kind of like they would then tell me no, but I would do it because it's like I have no problem in any situation. I guess up to a point, unless you're gonna murk off my family, or saying how I feel. So I'm like, yes, if you want to invite me up there to say completely opposing views, I'm fine with that.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess in terms of you're a known artist, you got a fan base. And to have you perform there, whether you speak your views or not, would draw your audience to their event. Would you allow yourself to be used in that way to draw?
So that's the thing. I want to. So depending on how it is, I don't know. So I know the root of your question is for me. It's like nah. It's like I'm not. I don't. So the point that was coming out of my mouth that I had to think about was I don't really care that much, right? So in terms of
well, we got to the root of it. You don't care. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like if I believe something and I feel convicted to speak on it, I do want to know the difference of like how this might play out. That's more for preparation. But I'm not really at a point where I'm like trying to like make sure fans like me because I have the same beliefs as them. Like I feel like any group of people, we got to differ some way, like at some point, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's kind of like hopefully there's enough nuance that we have the base foundation. So using the thing of like pro-life, they wanted to invite me, and I would explain to them where I stand, whatever. If they want to use me as a pawn somehow, I'll figure that out, and I'll be like, no. But if I could use them as a pawn somehow, I figure it out and take their money and do it. Right? You know what I'm saying? I have no problem like flipping the script. Yeah. So, but I don't operate too much on this thing of like, will you like me or keep me as a fan? You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, I had this Corey Harris, my bassist, MD or whatever. I got this one man show, and in a part of it, it's like engage, entertain, whatever. I got a part of it. It's called The Race, and I have a decent, like white fan base that comes to like a lot of shows, and whether it be music or the one man show. And in part of The Race, I basically go through my experience and my vantage point of a black man in America. And first was before I performed, he was like, dude, like it's gonna hit a lot of people wrong. And I was like, well, it's my truth and my art. And so in that show, there's people that have like literally walked out, but I don't care. I care, but I don't. Like it's kind of like I'm not, because one is I'm not doing anything just to be antagonistic, right? Like it's not like I'm on some let me go out here and just provoke by being antagonistic and poke the bear. I'm just speaking my truth from my convicted way of speaking. If that rubs somebody the wrong way, then that's cool. That's their obligation and opinion. It's cool.
Have you lost opportunities, or have you seen some pushback from that one man show? Have you?
So I see pushback from a lot of stuff I do, right? So it's like, yeah. I mean, for the one man show, there's certain folks who I wouldn't say from the one man show I can't tell you directly because I haven't experienced it, but I've had other stuff where people are like, "Hey, can you come at it like this, or can you do this?" And I'm like, "No, yeah." But it's kind of like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't care.
So you haven't had any little old white ladies that shop up on Kavanaugh and go, Piff, I didn't expect that from you.
Like I did my TED talk and I did a analogy for white privilege. People came up afterwards and was like, we didn't feel it, or they thought I was off base, or yes. I mean, cool.
Right. It's art, it's your truth, and you spoke it. And I guess even if you can be honest with yourself.
After the murder of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, I did a video called FAQs, where I basically wrote to white people to answer their frequently asked questions about racism, right? And then I put ads behind it, and immediately the far right caught it, right? Like it hit the far right bases of Facebook. So if you go on there now, you'll see literally maybe 1,000 commenters who are like bashing the song or whatever. Yeah. My mom, my sisters, they started getting upset at the time. My lady was getting upset. They were like, dude, this is crazy. Like, because, from them, they're like, the person they love is getting bashed. But for me, I was like, this is dope.
Right. Yeah, right. People are engaging. It's engagement.
Or even the fact of not even engaging. It's like, I'm speaking my truth and it's hitting people. It's a hit dog on a holler, right? Like,
there
it's just
you go. There you go.
It's just pulling them out the woodworks. And it's not even the fact of like for a career thing. It's just the fact of like, I'd rather know who they are. And they just like, I said the right things because it's causing the wrong people to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like, I do think about it, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I think there's a statement where it's like, it's not like, I have no fear. It's the fact that I don't let fear constrict me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to live, and that's a good motto, my brother. Now, in less than 40 seconds, can you tell me what keeps you up at night? What keeps Epiphany awake at night? When you're laying in the bed staring at the ceiling?
Bro, my problem is social media because got a bad habit of looking at that junk before I sleep.
That'll keep you up at night.
That or project mode. If I'm in a project mode, I'll hit a different level of like intensity. But that's only
is it because you're concerned about the project, because of work? Is it the planning? I mean, I lay in bed at night, dude, and I think about coding that I can't figure out. Or I try to figure out, I got a project that I'm working on. It's just not moving. Like it's just, and I can't figure out how to make it move. Hey, you find yourself with that? So I tell you what, at this moment, we have officially fucked off 20 minutes of your time.
20 minutes of everybody's time.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go play some music. We're going to come back. We're going to get in our second segment. We're going to talk about Piff. We're going to talk about the music. We're going to talk about the ambassadorship. We're going to talk about the world travel. And we're going to get deep into the Big Piff. Find out what's been going on. I ain't seen this brother in 10 years. We got to know what's happening. G-Mac, you ready?
Yep. World, we shall be right back right after this.
HoodTech presents the HoodCast.
You already know. My anxiety be my ass, granny help me. I can't even think. I be falling out with my people. I'm so damaged, I need a shrink. It's like the only thing that understand is Glock here we in sync. Cause it don't like to show its face, but when it do, you better not blink. When they screen cash G-O-O-N-A, just know it's me. I been dropping hits, killing tracks, put my story on these beats. If I ever die, play a song, live my story in these streets. Finally making money with my music, ma, you know what that means. Bring checks back with my talent, I ain't kick a door or serve a fiend. I'm so BGM or you should know just how I bleed. I love the game, won't never change. I gave the rapper a wedding ring. Mirror, mirror sitting on the wall, tell me how rich am I gonna be? My anxiety be my ass, granny help me, I can't even think. I be falling out with my people, I'm so damaged, I need a shrink. It's like the only thing that understand is Glock here we in sync. cause it don't like to show its face, but when it do, you better not blink. My anxiety beat my ass, granny help me, I can't even think. I be falling out with my people, I'm so damaged, I need a shrink. It's like the only thing I understand, this Glock here we in sync, cause it don't like to show its face, but when it do, you better not blink. Having long talks with my niggas, they say keep going, you finna blow. Holding it right, can't wait to break the bank, them racks lay on the floor. When I drop a song, I spark my peers to them, I give them hope. You up on weed, go sell some more. Living fast, go kick a dough. If I get rich, keep my tool, my nigga, no doubt, I bet I blow. Random thoughts of suicide, don't do no drugs, I can't even cope. If I die, who gon' help put mama in that brand new house? Cause when I went broke, then I went broke. Ain't nobody been looking out. My anxiety beat my ass, granny help me, I can't even think. I be falling out with my people, I'm so damaged, I need a shrink. It's like the only thing that understand, this Glock here we in sync. Cause it don't like to show its face, but when it do, you better not blink. My anxiety beat my ass, granny help me, I can't even think. I be falling out with my people, I'm so damaged, I need a shrink. It's like the only thing I understand, this Glock here we in sync. Cause it don't like to show its face, but when it do, you better not blink.
Yeah, nigga, going on. Niggas go through pain, but we shake back, nigga, we get money, nigga. This shit is, nigga.
HoodTech presents the HoodCast.
You out here flourishing, ain't you, baby? Well, I like that. The question now is, where you going to next? And to get there, what has or hasn't changed? And I hope you find the answer.
I got the feeling that I might take off. I got the feeling that I might take off.
Yes, sir.
I got the feeling that I might take off. I got the feeling that I might take off.
Yeah. Look. Smoother than I've flown before. A brother flows with no ties to the road. My ties fall below, that's cold. Chillin', spillin' from my frontal lobe. Intellects in the family. How command be, that's bold. Mac talk, the con became the pro. Got drive, lose some friends along the road. Now I'm prepared if I feel it in the air. Said I'll leave them in the wind for whatever comes to blow. So, still the boss gon' walk that walk. Lips sealed, so I caught that talk. You know, bruh, I got a river paddle watching y'all ping pong. Back and forth like a League song. Upstream I'm flowing, on G I'm gone. Left the city with a ditty bop. Abs with a biddies out. Philly watch a giddy gap. For the bag, run force with a Jenny gat. Tired of them penny stacks, now we on that, give me that. I've been at it too long before. Transparency in songs had me going ghost. Now I toast to what it is, and might as well make it look chill. Don't you know I got a luxury walk with luxury talk? I'm thinking, fluffing the scarf or dusting you off. We drinking something that's dark like nothing's tomorrow. Harmonies in discussion, no percussions involved. Cause baby, realize that these real lies keep us stressing. Real lies gotta heal laws, that's the blessing. Shoot the messenger, but never kill the messenger. I promise both is chilling in my essence. I'm that nigga.
You got a luxury walk and know what it is by wherever you are. But wherever you ain't, don't let them talk. It's whatever they think. Cause whatever you thought, it's only all up till that love gets lost. So whatever you do, when they all go, you gon' still be you.
There was Big Piff. Take off. We are back, baby. Second segment. HoodTech presents the HoodCast. We in this thing, we Epiphany, aka Big Piph, aka Piff, aka
I am not them. You got a bunch of names. You gonna bring the video back up, or we gonna let us all there?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Hold on one second. Give it a little time. Boom, there we go.
I tell you gotta get an assistant, G-Mac. You need some help. You ain't got enough hands. You gotta be an octopus in there.
Well, actually, I have new equipment. The last equipment on the last HoodCast kind of went kaputty put. So I've been spending the weekend trying to make sure the show running. As the boss always have to
at
do.
HoodTech, we have always been sure to make sure we max out the end of life on every piece of equipment before we buy anything. My alarm and my smoke alarm got to beep a week before I change the battery. I just got to make sure it's dead. I don't believe in
anything that I done been through a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I always have a contingency plan on a contingency plan. So
G-Mac is the ultimate historian. This man had a fire in his home, and he saved the computer that we did all our HoodTech work on, and he got all of our discs from all our shows and all our recording sessions. So his kids will be eating off our work long after we're gone. He's making sure. He's making sure he's holding on to that content. Content is king. G-Mac is holding it down. He's the HoodTech historian. Hold on a second, guy.
Uh-oh. Yes, we're back. Second segment with
no battery warning.
Uh-oh.
Big Piff. Oh, man, that's your new song to take off. I'm not surprised. And I have to say, I knew it was gonna be good because I haven't heard you miss ever. I'm not gonna act like I've heard every song you ever made, but those that I've heard have always been quality. Now you know my favorite joint. My favorite joint. You know my favorite record. $5. My favorite record.
I knew you were gonna. I was hoping you for it. I thought that might be it.
It really is. That $5 joint is like it's. I can pick out Lil Rock rappers and that one record that I've heard from each one of them, and I'd be like, that's the joint.
No, I ain't mad at it. Yeah,
$5, man. I do. When I heard that record, we could have ever got the business right. Man, I had marketing plans for that record. I was gonna run into we was going to Walmart. I was like, if Walmart don't go, we're going to Target. If Target don't take it, we're going to JCPenney's. But dude, $5 was my joint. I used to play that record for my kids. Like, yo, you see this? This kind of attitude you need to have. This is it.
That's funny.
It was a learning lesson. But man, I got $5 and I'm gonna make it happen. And I remember growing up, when I was a kid running around DC, before I worked in clubs, you got no money in college. So you spend more time hanging out, parking lot pimping, and in the city ain't no parking lot. You just hanging out on the subway, everywhere except in the club. And I remember those nights of $20. I know I'm finna blow $250 on Metro. So now what am I gonna do with this other $17.50? And I gotta eat between now and when the caf open back up for breakfast. So
make it work.
So I remember budgeting some hell of a $17.50 nights in DC. So that $5 song really rang true with me. Me and my wife used to listen to that joint. We were reminiscing on some really, really slim days. And hell, we was broke at the time when that record was out. But definitely that record was my anthem. So that is my biggest.
Dope, my favorite. That means a lot. I joke about it, but I'm proud of it. I'm glad you felt it, man. For real.
It really is. I mean, I don't know if it became like I'm talking to Bambaataa one time and how he expressed his distaste for Planet Rock because he can't get away from it. It is just like he can't escape it. Do you have one of those records? $5 that record for you?
Yeah. So I finally escaped it, and now I'm actually coached with going back because like I've created a new set and I put it back because it hit a point where it's like, though people would request it at shows. I'm like, nah, I'll be anti-audience. Like, nah.
Oh man.
Once again, because I care, but I don't. And then, but now it's to the point, it took me a while to kind of come back and be like, respect it and enjoy it again. Cheers. I mean, I'm proud of that. Dude, I'm humbled that anybody rocks anything I made. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one of those things of appreciative, but at the same time, it's just a point where it's like, I got to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? I just appreciate it more.
I mean, I understand when you're trying to put together a new set. I remember traveling with artists and I'd be like, y'all gonna do this, y'all gonna do that. And they'd be like, bro, that record is like 2 albums ago. You keep asking us. And I'm like 19, 20. I'm just excited to be around artists that I've seen on TV. And now I'm holding the bags and I'm getting to go and I'm backstage. I'm like asking, we'll perform this. And they're looking at me like, does this motherfucker realize he at work? Like, dude, we're not here to perform for you. It's like people out here and we got new merch and we got new stuff. Could you work the new stuff? And I'll be like, it ain't good as the old stuff.
We want that though. We want that.
Yeah. I'm the one asking Jay-Z to perform Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
meanwhile, he's like, go back and get my old music. And I'm like, well, you standing right there. Can you hit a bar for me? Do something for me? I'm a fan, goddammit. He's like, you're also supposed to be taking tickets. Could you do your job? Man, I speaking of back, I haven't seen you easily in 10 years.
Yeah.
When I was following you on social media, when I was really active on social media, I think it was Instagram or whatever, you had these images of Africa and this trip you were on, like lions walking up to the car and shit. It was like crazy. And I was like, yo, this dude is like always on some extraterrestrial moving around shit. Where have you been the last 10 years? I can only imagine. Have you gotten your Elon Musk golden ticket yet? And have you circled the earth? You know what I'm saying?
Where have I been the last 10 years?
Yeah, where you been?
Shoot, man. So it's probably been about 15 countries. So, you know, Morocco, Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Tanzania, Ghana, Australia a few times, Myanmar, a few times Mexico, Canada. I'm forgetting like a few others. Panama.
Is that Japan. Travel thing? Was that something your parents or your family instilled in you, or was that just like an innate energy to get out there and see the world? You got some people be like, man, I don't need to go nowhere. I was raised in the Bronx. I'm gonna die in the Bronx.
So it's two levels.
You do.
You know,
I wouldn't believe that.
Because like now, you know, now it's my work, so I get to do a lot for work. But it was my parents always like were big on us seeing everything in life. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in Pine Bluff, with them being people of the world living in different spots, they always were like see the spectrum of the world. So at first it was like we hop in the van and just go to like, you know, Dallas, and then be a little bit further in Houston, and it's like by the Grand Canyon. And as they kind of like progressed in life, they're like, hey, we can go to Jamaica now. So but I didn't appreciate it. And the reason I didn't appreciate it was because I'm so like borderline chill. The act of like packing and moving, I ain't like doing. I'd rather sit in the crib. What cracked it open for me, South Africa was the first time we did some like heavy non-touristy stuff in the sense of we went to a shanty town, interacted with the people, and that made me have a different perspective of the world and cultural immersion. And that happened in like 2008, something like that, right? So now traveling for me, I still do the stunt and stuff, whatever. Like I'm down for that. Like I skydive over the beach in like Australia. However, any place I go,
50,000 feet.
I don't know. You kind of reach you. I go with you. I watch the video, but I won't be jumping out the plane behind you.
Right. But now any place I go is both of them is like I want to do that, but I want to find out like who's the indigenous people, where's like the first cultural center, stuff like that. And that made traveling like way different for me now. So now it's the thing of which my parents wanted me to see always was the fact of enjoy this, but like see it for what it is and how people interact with this world. And that's kind of what it's been for me the last 10 years in the sense of 10, 15 just been like culture immersion. That's like even when I did like a 2-week program in Winston-Salem, you know what I'm saying? In America, it's like every place has their own culture. And I just try to like understand it more, which is me trying to understand myself more too, you know what I'm saying?
Now you mentioned your work and you were talking about your kind of work. Talk to us about that. Is that the ambassadorship you're talking about?
Yeah, because I got a made up job now, right? So like one of them is
we all got made up jobs.
right. IRS doesn't respect mine, but like cultural ambassadorship is I go to a place and do workshops, programs, performances, and cultural exchange, where it's like we learn about y'all, you learn about us, and we hopefully leave it better, right? So I've been to 12 countries doing that.
So what is it? Is it with an organization or is it just like Piff throw on a backpack and roll out? I mean,
no, because Piff ain't got dough for that to just do that many times. But yeah. So first to start off, like I did the first one in 2012 when I went to Ferocious to Gambia and Seychelles and Mauritius. And then after that, I got picked up by a few other embassies, and now I'm on what's called a site manager for Next Level, and I do it with them. So each time it's partnership with either a program and an embassy, and now I've done 12 countries. So they bring me over, and I'm about to go to the Philippines next year.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. That's dope. So now, with all that traveling, are you ludicrous? Do you have holes in every area code, or is it you try to keep?
Will it be?
Is she watching and you can't say, or you know?
No, nice segue. So
it's the HoodCast. You didn't think it was gonna be civil the whole time.
Oh, bro, I'm with it. So no holes. But I'll tell you what I did learn. Right, and this is what I learned in Tokyo that worked for a while. So like, I was in Tokyo. And it was my last day there, and that was actually on a family trip. And it was like one free day. So I was like, man, what might be the best way to find somebody to kick it with to like see the city? So I hopped on an app. I hopped on a dating app, right? Bruh, cheat code. Basically, I did that for the next 10 years because basically I hit out and be like, look, I'm here for like a day to a week. I'm just trying to see the city. I'm great people to be around. Whoop de whoop. 9 people out of 10 be like, no, no, no. But that one do that one will be like, let's ride, and they'll show you everything in the city just kicking it. So I used to basically go to only use dating apps in different countries to get the best tour guides.
Oh, you know what? That's a HoodCast exclusive. Use a dating app to get the best tour guides. Now,
I use it for a whole different other thing, brother.
G-Mac has an OnlyFans page. We don't want to go into that, but yeah.
Sure. When I use a dating app to
yeah. Anyway, so what I was going to say before I was so nastily interrupted, or G-Mac get out of control. With your approach of traveling the world, how does that impact your music? Is it a conscious effort to if you go to this country and you're like, oh, this is what's rocking over here? Do you pull a Drake? Do you pull out a patois accent sometimes?
Nah, so actually that's a good point. No, actually it doesn't impact it consciously or directly because, man, I'm real cautious about appropriation, and it's like one thing that just like if I'm in Myanmar and I just come back with all like Asian instrumentals and I'll be like, because I was in Myanmar for a month. Like just me, you know what I'm saying? It's more more like impacts the lyrics, you know what I'm saying, in terms of my scope and perspective. But the music, I'm real cautious. Like I might do something that samples a little bit West African because spending more time there. I'm real cautious about like now I will make music with artists over there. That's different. But that's them inviting me in their house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to me stealing their furniture.
That's a nice way to put it, and that's a very respectful way to put it too. Because I know a lot of people quite often you listen to these Spotify playlists and you'll hear music from favorite artists that you didn't even know they ever made, and it is like a straight jack of whatever's hot on whatever continent at the moment.
Yeah,
and some of it just be pure garbage. You're just like, bro, that's not your lane. But I mean, I get it. It's you're trying to get them. It's about them spins. And when it comes to Spotify, you want them streams, so they put out 70 songs in 30 languages. None of which they speak well. It's just, but I mean, I can't blame them. I listen to Afrobeat. I'm in the DMV area, and we got Afrobeat ruling the radio, and I can't understand half the stuff they're saying. But when you think about it, you can pull some artists out of Atlanta, it'd be the same thing. The beat just be rocking.
I'm close to getting on some Afrobeats. I almost feel immersed enough.
Right.
That, so don't trip. All that furniture, you won't see someone's couch. I'm real close to getting some Afrobeats.
When you pop up in that dashiki, I know it's on.
Oh, no, I got tons of fits, my bro. Like
you got a whole international closet.
Yeah, I got like 8 fits, man. They coming.
Okay. Oh, I expect that next video will look like one of those Coming to America movies. We be like 16 different characters and whatnot.
It's coming.
Now, speaking of the visuals, you always made your whole little team, y'all was good about videos. I mean, those videos were a little bit more. I mean, we used to shoot videos in front of a brick wall and just get it done and leave. You guys always like really put some effort into it. I used to trip on what's our man Next to see his videos used to go out there. I mean, I'm talking about costuming, time changes, period pieces, the whole nine. I'm like, this dude, he shouldn't be rapping. My man should be shooting films. Like he should be a costume designer. Like he really goes into it. What kind of effort is that for you when you get ready to make your visuals? I mean, I know you got a team of people, but how do you guys sit down and come up with that? Is it the song first? Is it the song and then the video, or is it a overall theme that you shoot for the look of things?
Yeah. So I mean, now I'm way different. So first of all, like I don't even. If someone asks what I do now, like I don't say rap because it's like that hasn't been like the main. You said what?
Hip hop.
No, I wouldn't even say hip hop. Like I just say I'm a hip hop creative, right? So for me, and what I mean by that is like sometimes it, like visuals. Like I'm making a webisode series right now, and music's coming with it. Like that song you heard, "Take Off," that came because it's part of an episode. Like it wasn't the song in the episode. It was like this episode needed music, so the soundtrack came from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the visuals came first. So for me nowadays, man, it's like I'm in a position where I just want to make stuff that I don't see in the world that I think is dope, speaks to me, and then make it. If that happens to be a one-man show where it's like talking, rapping, and visuals, cool. If it happens to be like a web series, cool. Like it's just kind of that for me now. But then it's like whether with this web series, like millions of people watch it or just 10, I just got at the end of the day stand on it artistically and be like, that was dope. Regardless of anybody else watching it, which just requires me time. Have you ever heard the saying you can be good, fast, or cheap?
Right.
Two, you know what I'm saying?
You can do two, but you can't do three. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, cheap is normally going to be one of them. So that means we just take our time with it, bro. We just take.
You want it to be good. You don't want it to be cheap and not good.
Yeah, it's got to be good. So sometimes, and I have tricked though. It's got good is the one that can't be compromised.
I understand that, and I appreciate that too.
And so
I've seen really good videos for shitty songs.
Yes,
and I've seen really horrible videos for great songs. And when you see the two come together and they actually mesh up, I always go like, how do these people keep hitting it and some people don't? But then, I give you an example. Glorilla, that video, it was any video that anybody would have shot in Memphis on any given day. But then it just popped off, right? And when I see stuff like that, it's knowing the industry. Sometimes I have to ask myself, was that intentional? So I remember when they broke Drake out, they brought us his mixtape, and they had everybody rooting for the independent artist. When he wasn't an independent artist, he was signed to a label. He had a big old budget. And I remember driving to New York with a mutual friend of ours, and they were in the car just like, see, this is what I'm talking about. His management is doing this and he's doing that. And so we get to New York, and Drake is playing on Hot 97 every hour. Every hour. Yeah. And I said, do you still think it's his management? Because he's on a label. No, he's independent. I'm like, no, he's on a label. How can you say that you don't know he's on? I say, he's on Hot 97. The record's playing every hour. You don't play on that station like that without a budget. Right. That is not an independent. You're not listening to an independent budget right now.
So what's sparking y'all's interest nowadays in terms of artists?
I have to be honest, man. I forced myself out of the independent and music industry. Yeah. Because what I realized was I went broke, literally, like down to the last dollar, working and promoting artists. And when I went broke, and I'm talking about broke, I'm talking about rent due on one house, mortgage due on another house, both car notes late. And I looked around, and the only people that was helping me, that could even try to help me, was this man right here, my brother Al, my wife, and my mom. So I said, if at my lowest, these are the four people with me, then I need to make sure that I get to my highest, these same four people are with me. And I do stuff that can contribute to helping them as well as they contribute to help me. And so that meant all those artists and all those folks I ran around with and all that promotion, all that money I spent. My wife did the numbers, and I was just like, look, I could have bought a house for this. I could have paid this house off for that. And I just stopped. I removed myself from social media, and to answer your question, I don't even know what's hot anymore.
So, no, I appreciate that. I'm going to piggyback on something you said. So for myself now, in terms of like my artistry and creativity, is like, I made a deal with myself that this is what I'm going to do until I die, right? So once I did that, it became less of trying to get on, trying to get famous, trying to do whatever, and more so like how to basically do this as a lifestyle and live the way I want to comfortably. And so in terms of things I create, it's like it has to reach the same amount of time making it reach creatively. I'll spend the amount of time be like, okay, and how does this actually have a back end, right? So for instance, like one man show, which I described as if TED Talk was a hip hop concert with a Spike Lee narrative, right? 90 minutes on stage, 70 minute script, 20 songs in there, visuals, talking whatever, woo, woo, woo. But after doing it twice, it's in the black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it satisfied my creative goals, but also it's like, man, I like groceries, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, groceries are nice.
Man, I've been on almond milk, but that junk ain't free. So it's just kind of like I need my stuff to also make money. So it's kind of like I will take the time, and with the takeoff at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm playing an end goal now in my head of like, we are working towards this because it's a repeatable model that we can always pivot on. Also, my stuff ties together in the sense of like I call myself a hip hop creative and community activator. But and a lot of people be like, oh, are you gonna do one or the other? But they don't get the fact that they're completely tied together. When I put a song like Takeoff out and put it on social media, I get hit up about talks and workshops, right? When I do workshops and talks, people hit me up later on like, hey, we need an artist for this. Like that hand in hand, which has been the last 10 years of intention doing that. You know what I'm saying? So very much so now, don't get me wrong, it'd be dope to be like have tons of likes and tons of presence like that. But as you know, I've seen and you've seen artists who have that and are broke. Or
yeah, boy.
Me is like if you give me like 10,000 likes versus like $2,000 gig, and give me the gig. Like I'm cool off of all that.
They don't take likes at the grocery store.
Not at all, man.
They don't.
So,
eggs went up, bro. Eggs went up.
It ain't always like the quantity of the people see is the quality. And so like the people with the right eyes will hit me up, be like, hey, we saw you doing this. Can you come over here and do that? You know what I'm saying? Now I am planning to actually like take it up a level in terms of presence for the show, but it was only because I first have intact a business model because I like almond milk, bro.
So is that my man is motivated by almond milk? It's never thought I'd be drinking almond milk.
You know what I'm saying?
Due to dietary restrictions, I got to do the same thing. It's not like I like that shit. I can't have dairy. Dairy's not my friend. Dairy, and my wife make me sleep in the den if I eat ice cream. So, with that being said, now where are we going the next 5 years? Where's Piff going? Because I've seen it come up from doing the shows at Downtown Music to travel to International Man to now you're doing your ambassadorship. You're too young to be talking about retirement. But eventually we want the ranch. We want the big house. We want the car to drive itself.
I'll give you 15 years. Yeah, for
15 years?
I'll give you 15. So the web series is I'll give you the A and B for the 15 years. The web series is to basically put out the first one, put out the second one, actually get option to do an actual show, whether as a writer for a new one or the option the same show for another one. But in the same way, in the independent route, we're working a model that each time one ends, we can like capitalize on that for profitability by independent models through donations, events, merch, and actually like album sales by putting it first just for digital release before it goes full streaming, which I've been working on the past 3 years. After that show, I plan on working up a smaller boutique production company to work in that next 5 to 10 years to do get a larger production deal, arguably with a streamer, there for another 10, and then out. Sell it.
Wow. So at this point, I realize I'm a bad parent. I'm going to need you to adopt my sons because I'm doing a shitty job. You clearly have a plan that I have not thought about. Just send me your address. I'll drop them off with a bag and some groceries and, give them a little tutoring for about a week or two. They're not listening to shit I'm telling them. My kids are out there trying to, they chasing their dreams. I'm trying to crush that. I figure, I got to get them around somebody out there on some reality. I told them, I said, you seen me chase my dreams. Remember all that oatmeal y'all used to eat because we liked oatmeal? It was cheaper than meat. It's cheaper than meat.
That's the thing, man. So it's like I'm trying to create this stuff with partners, a 3-tier model or 2-tier, one top down in the sense of even with this website series, we've had partners with it. And they basically like, you speak to this audience, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I'm going to do what I do. They're like, cool. So that like gets paid for that. And the upward model is a sense of we now know how to get like a certain amount from people, a small audience that like actually, 1,000 fans. You have 1,000 people that spend $100 per year. You can do the math on that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And so it's just like, all right, now let's prove it. We did it with the last project, which was easily the most profitable project I did since the days of CDs, right? So, and this digital like made more money than, and not huge numbers, but like cool, right? And I know now we could step that up, man. So that's kind of the plan, man. It's all just kind of building it up. Oh, and option B is, let's say stuff comes out and it gets a big universal shrug. Don't nobody care. I'll just disappear.
Well, I mean, that's what I did. So I ran with option B early. I got too old to be passing out flyers.
Like if all this work we putting in and we put out this new project, the soundtrack in the series, and y'all are like, okay, Piff, I'll be like, all right. You see Universal delete across my social media. I'll be back with G-Mac Dreads.
You'll be back with G-Mac Dreads. Next time we see you, you'll be down here. Man. I feel you, man. I mean, people chase dreams, and there's nothing wrong with making adjustments. I'm not saying quit, but sometimes you got to make adjustments. I hit a wall, and I said, I got to make adjustments.
Dude, this is my adjustment. Like, if I would, the whole plan was way different for Conduit. But it is what it is. So, and we can talk also a little bit about, You know, so y'all could just delete me later on. Or we
no,
live.
this is live. They can see you right now.
For sure, even better. But like, you know what I'm saying? In a sense of like, without even naming names, we can even name names if you want. But like, we've seen artists with all the potential and the momentum, and then you hit that point and you stagnate out, and it's like almost like mental health becomes an issue because it's like you're battling with what you think you should be versus where you were kind of like stuck, right? And so
yeah, no doubt.
at that point, there was a point where it's like, oh shoot, I'm now at this point, at this age, the game's here, so on and so forth. And it took a little bit to just recognize being like, I can hold on to the fact of like the superstardom dream from 7 years prior, or like tweak a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, what I learned from watching a lot of other artists who didn't do it is like, once again, I want to live off of this, but it's not going to be through just putting out albums and touring. Like that's just not going to do it. So for me, it was like, you know what? Like my talk, when I say speaking in workshops, I don't go in there like, nigga, I go in there looking like this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like,
I know. I've seen him. I've seen him with the hoodie and the hat on backwards. In fact, this is the uniform. I'm looking at it right now. I've seen it. I actually fussed at you one time. Like, you couldn't put a suit on? Come on, man. You got a degree, for God's sake. Stop playing the dumb rapper role.
No, you did. I straight remember that. But that's the thing, though. Like, I tell people, though, like, when my talks are about the world of hip hop, like, I'm not going in there talking about, I go in there, own what I am, and show this path and make it relatable without saying they got to do the same one. But that was intentional in the sense of like, I am going to, the same way you talk about the brand that I had with music, my brand with speaking in workshops is, it's Big Piff. It's not like you're not getting anything else, whatever. I'm giving you this and giving like pragmatic takeaways. But that was like my slight tweak because it was like, I can go in there and do that for X amount of dollars, and it corresponds and correlates with, you know what I'm saying, with the music. You know what I'm saying? But that was my tweak. Like, I was sitting around 21 years old, like, man, I can't wait till I'm a speaker from this rap. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, so your speaking engagement, are you with a speakers bureau, or is it kind of people reach out and it just one thing kind of rolls into another?
It's kind of, if you know, you know. It's like, you know, kind of this. I've never been booked through anybody else, but it's like people just hit me up. So once again, as I tell you, and once again, I say it like the plan just works flawlessly, but it's not. So like, don't let me gas you. But for instance, I put out Takeoff. I put out a video of me walking on the bridge, whatever. That's all creative, and I'm doing that on purpose. Creatively, that's what I wanted to do. However, I know when I do that, more than likely, people are gonna reach out with other things. So from that, I got reached out for an artist residency. I got reached out for a talk in, I think, New York. You know what I'm saying? And it's not accidental. It's the fact of people see it. I've defined myself in 3 categories of the hip hop creative, the community dude, and kind of like the traveling shenanigans, right? So when people see
gypsy out here, yeah.
So when people see like hip hop and community, and they're kind of looking around, I'm not far down the list. But when people think about global citizen or like using your art for activism, I'm not far down the list. And I tell people who book me, the next person that's better than me is not in your price range. They're gonna charge you an extra $10,000. You're not gonna find nobody in my price range to open it. And that's that's like intentional for the last 10 years because I realized what I thought it was gonna be is not that. Therefore, let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know,
I get it. Now it all comes back to almond milk. No matter whatever you say, at the end of the day, my man need almond milk in the fridge. I feel you. Now, you've done so much work in the community. I mean, when y'all had the global kids thing that was going on. I remember when a family had a fire and you guys like did a fundraiser, got in clothes and stuff for them. Like you've always, and it's not, I won't say you always put yourself in the center of stuff. It's like you always raise your hand and say, I'm willing to help. Without being one of those people that say, look at me, I'm helping. You know, I've seen some people do some of the similar stuff that you do, and it was obvious that it was a promotional slant on it. Whereas I've seen you do things and it was genuine because it wasn't the camera was in your face and the camera wasn't in the face of the people you were helping. It was more about bringing awareness, and I've always appreciated that. Do you find it hard sometimes to do your thing without letting it turn into a self-promotion?
Man, so the weirdest thing is, and I know I'll make this short, is the most of the stuff, if I could, I wouldn't say nothing about it. The reason I almost have to is because that's how more stuff comes on the table, right? Like it's like if I am able to do something over here, it allows me to get resources to do more over here. So it's this fine balance of like, I would like to just do stuff and move in silence because it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Or but I almost have to do a little bit and put it out because like with, you know, my new youth program, I got to put it out there because that's how we get funders. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't say nothing, it's like it don't exist.
Yeah, man. So it's a weird balance, man. And I mean, it's cool. I'm not like, shy away and like, don't ever give me credit, but it's, I don't know, man. I just do it because I feel it should be done. I mean, I resonate on an old verse. He who much is given, much is required. So like, as I get to ascend more, I should be able to do more. Like, what else?
It's the Uncle Ben theory. I get it. Yeah, you Spider-Man out here. I feel you. So we're going to play some music. When we come back, we're going to talk to Piff more about what he's got going on. We're going to discuss more about Takeoff and his upcoming project. G-Mac, are you ready to play some music, my brother?
Yes, sir. Well, we shall be right back with the third and the final segment right after this.
HoodTech presents the HoodCast.
All right, here goes. Sometimes I go so hard, it's embarrassing. I wanna get my money up and never carry again. I'm doped up on the hustle, I made American. I'm McLaren Avenue, bring the McLaren in. I wanna ride in the street, something souped up. Go against the grain like suede or new, but what I do ain't new. It's just the new cut. Difference is I am that raw and you cut. That's cause every day for me is practice. Day this thing I lit up, baby, I became the captain. Every day I get up, I'm trying to stack this. Snatching checks so fast, I got they fingers snapping. I'm not a show off, I'm the bomb. I just go off. So they're back if you see me get my glow off. I'm recharged as soon as I get a load off. I don't know why I'm like this, it's just been so long. I can't get caught up in the past, they did me so wrong. After I get caught up on that cash, it's gonna be so wrong. If you see me, keep your low song. The jar nigga giving light like a phone. Sometimes I go so hard, it's embarrassing. I get my money every carry again. I'm doped up on the hustle, I made American. I'm the clear Avenue, bring the McLaren in. Sometimes I go so hard, it's embarrassing. I wanna get my money up and never carry again. I'm doped up on capitalism, made American. I know they hit me from that, later declaring it. Burn the candle and both fans to my sin. I tried it here, then I went and got it lit again. Look in the mirror and I'm feeling unfit again. But don't deliver and they treat you like a little kid. In school, I was in honors and AP. They didn't teach me how to go and dress my wrist at AP. Had to get out in the world where the love and hate me is. Either get ate up, so what that make me? I'm just saying, super ass can speed. And your whole life's an episode of Lacking Bossy. You can't get the trip if it don't involve you. It don't come with the fit, you need to call me. I can't get lost up in the mask, I know what I'm on. I can't get caught up in the past, I know I done wrong. But I can't quit, me can't deny. I'm trying to go until I get my money done long. Sometimes I go so hard, it's embarrassing. I wanna get my money up and never carry again. I'm doped up on the hustle, I made American. I'm the clear Avenue, bring the McLaren in. Sometimes I go so hard, it's embarrassing. I wanna get my money up and never carry again.
HoodTech presents the HoodCast.
Baby, be on the grind.
Yeah. We have returned, third and final segment of HoodCast number 311, baby. We're back with Big Piph. Yo, it's one thing I've been doing. I've been waiting to the end, but I gotta do it. I gotta let the world know if they have music out there that we have showcased. You see what I'm saying? So if you have any music that you would like for us to play on our show, please send us your original MP3s now. No links. MP3s, not even waves. Too big anyway to send. MP3s to thehoodcast@gmail.com. And we will be glad to put them in rotation.
Yeah, G-Mac gonna listen to him. If I get hold to him first and they boo-boo, they not making the show. I'm just gonna be honest.
I told y'all.
G-Mac was sneaking shit in on me, man. I'll be listening to the show and be like, what the hell? But G-Mac give everybody a chance. He's the yin to my yang. He likes to give folks
catch you because if you don't say nothing, that shit gonna be playing.
I know. I check the email box every now and then to try to screen stuff, but G-Mac can beat me to it. So we've had the pleasure of having the great Epiphany here with us. Hip hop activist, creative, social commentator, world traveler, man on a mission. Now tell me, on a personal note, is there a Mrs. Epiphany yet?
Nah, man.
Spotlight. Put him on the spotlight. I was wondering, how do you have a time for a relationship with all that running around you doing?
So no, I mean, I was in. So let me be clear. I'm not anti-relationship. I was in a pretty serious one. It just ended real weird. But to answer that question, man, a lot of prep on my part and understanding on her part, unless she's also in a likewise similar situation. Right.
So it's hard to find.
They've been like artists and like entrepreneurial. So they kind of had crazy time hours too. Or else it just takes a lot of like ridiculous understanding. But more times than not, like, this ain't what you want.
This ain't what you want.
So are you still a gym rat? I know you used to be Mr. Zeke out there. You was hard about that physical fitness.
Hey, so what's funny is that's what I'm about to do after this and try to catch gym. I don't consider myself a gym rat, but I still hit it up.
Yeah. Right. And no pot belly? No pot belly yet? You hadn't given up yet?
I'm working on my sexy gut for 2024, but right now
I'm telling you, bro, the biggest freedom you'll ever get when you stop worried about that belly button, you let that thing go. Woo! I'm telling you.
Belly button wink yet. It's not working yet.
You still see your feet. You still see your feet. You're doing good.
But I'm not gym rat. I'm cool. I'm maintain. I'm pretty cool.
I finally got back to I can see my like the whole top of my shoe. For a while, it was just a toe. I can just see the tip.
And you feel good, though, right?
Yeah, I feel better. I run now. I row. I do all that good stuff. I run with my boys. I row 3 times a week.
And to be real, like I do it mostly for therapeutic reasons, right? Like the physical is mostly like it's just the time I black out. Nothing else matters. Don't check my phone. It's about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had to raise my oxygen levels to fight depression. I really was like, yo, I got to get more. I got to get more. And with the nature of the other stuff that I do outside of here, I can't relax as much as I like to. So I have to find other ways to get that high. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's running, sometimes it's rowing, it's working out.
Yo,
and now that all my boys are grown. So what?
It's not. They're running rushing to find another high. It's not as good.
Yeah, it ain't the same, but it has to do for right now because economics require me to maintain a certain physical level. So you know, some of my clients say, "Hey, could you pee in this cup?" And I'd be like, "How about tomorrow?" How about tomorrow? I got tired of giving them baby pee. You know what I'm saying? My kids are grown now. I can't trust they pee no more. So I gotta make sure I'm good. It was good when they were 13 and 14. When they went out to college, I was like, it might be a little questionable at this point. Junior looking a little hazy when he come home for the holidays. I'm not really trying to use that pee no more. It's funny when you see your kids going through life and they talk to you about stuff and they standing there and you're looking at them going, you have no idea that I know exactly where you are right now. I know exactly where your head is. Matter of fact, I used to be where you are right now. So, yeah, man. So do you have any plans? Do you have family in the future? I know you come from a big family. Y'all are really family oriented. I always kind of enjoy like I said, I watch you on social media. I didn't give a shit about the music. I was living through the trips. And I always thought it was cool how your family traveled together. Y'all went and did stuff together. That was dope.
Yeah. No, I ain't gonna lie. The family, like that's the family stunting is dope. You said, do I have plans for family or like family oriented?
Yeah. Yo, you have family. I mean, you got to get a missus or something or a
Yeah,
doctor.
so I don't plan on having kids though.
Really? Is it because of the state of the world, or you just that damn selfish? You don't want to buy 2 things of almond milk? What is it?
Man, no, it's those. I gotta listen. Like the best way I describe it is like any reason people like want kids, I don't have. So I probably have like 12, 15 reasons, but I've kind of decided I'm good.
Oh,
yeah.
Usually, them people are the ones that accidentally slip up.
Next year, HoodCast, it's my baby girl.
Go for it.
You said what?
But I thought you can't.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I thought you had to be a certain age.
He's like, don't worry about me. I got you covered.
Nah, he's still too young anyway. I don't think he can.
No, you're not. No. You can get it.
Oh, I forgot. You Mr. International.
Yeah.
I mustn't remember. He can go to
some
somewhere.
It's some little brown Chinese kids walking around there, rapping. Don't understand why syncopation is that way when they talk. Some little African kid walking around there singing $5. Don't know why. You gonna tell me this man been on 12? He been in 12 countries around the world. You ain't even little something.
I go for the food, man.
For the food. The food, bro.
For the almond milk.
For the almond milk, dude. The food.
Hey,
I forgot where y'all were. You went. Where were you? You were like in an Asian country. You was in an Asian country.
I was eating.
Yo, you was eating. I was like, yo, this dude gotta live in the gym because this mug be eating like a horse.
FOE, bro. I eat, man.
That's why he work out so damn much.
You got to, man. You would be 300 pounds if you didn't, bro. Because I mean, what are you, 6'2", 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'3". Yeah.
You like ridiculously tall, and you eat like a madman. I was like, yo, when does he work? Because my man, like, he got 30 posts, 30 days. It's food every one of them.
That ain't that bad. Well,
yeah, dude. Look at your Instagram, bro. That Instagram was looking like a fucking 5-star menu. I was like, I'm gonna eat every damn thing. It was no restrictions, and you was running around with the students too. That's what made it so cool. Like I would run up in these spots and get these crazy plates. Cause I think you were in Dubai, weren't you?
Oh, I did Dubai, Tanzania, and Myanmar all in a row.
Yeah.
For like 3 months, like 2 months in a row. It was like, that was a little stupid.
Yeah, your Instagram looked like a Food Network. That shit was crazy. I was like, yo, what is this nigga eating now? And some of that stuff, I was like, I wouldn't eat that.
I eat a little bit of everything. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like,
I said the same thing. As long as it's cooked.
No, my man was trying. I mean, he was really trying my patience. I was like, oh, I don't eat that. And he was like, oh, that's good. And I see another picture, so I'm like, no, I know he didn't eat that. He'd be like, yeah, that was good. I was like, oh, this dude's crazy. He's out of control. But you take more risk as you venture out into the world, and people like me get to live vicariously through it. So I do appreciate it because, I live in my garage. I go between the den and the second floor. That's kind of like my travel arrangement around here at this point.
That's called smart.
Well, it's called chasing your granddaughter around the house. So,
cool.
I don't have time to be traveling the world. Now, tell me something. All this moving and all this doing, where can they find you? I remember I haven't been on the site in a while, but do you still have the I Am Not Them site?
No. So
that was for that project?
Yeah, it's just been so many renditions. Everything now is almost BIGPIPH. Like all of them just made it real easy to find. Everything's just Big Piph stuff, man.
BigPiph.com, is that where they can find you at?
Yep, .com. All my socials, Big Piph. It's like, type that in, like everything, because everything kind of, all the content lives on all those places, but like BIGPIPH.com, Instagram. I don't do Twitter. I don't really do TikTok.
Yeah, I noticed that. You used to be on Twitter, then you just kind of like disappeared.
I did, man.
You saw Elon Musk coming and you was like, I ain't fucking with this? Or?
Yeah, man. It was like, for the longest, social media didn't make me feel good. It was kind of like, and so it was kind of a self-care thing.
Yep. I agree. I was saying 2017. No, might have been 2016 or 2017 is when I killed my Facebook. And I noticed that not going on Facebook, not engaging in Facebook, that I found that my happiness was just going up. I mean, I could really see and feel like I'm happy. I'm happier. Wasn't like I was sad or I was depressed, but it was just this constant need to post, this engagement thing, and then we were promoting shows and stuff too. But once we weren't doing that anymore, me and G-Mac started focusing more on the HoodCast and just kind of getting settled in, between New York and Maryland, that kind of stuff, just real life. The online aspect of it just really wasn't appealing. And then I started noticing that I would see people that I knew, and I could honestly see, like, I ain't gonna say quality of life, but I could see changes going on in them that weren't positive. And,
man. I talk about that for days, but same thing, man. So for me, I'm strategic with it, and I've come to a point where it's overall healthy for me, and I enjoy it. But it took me conscious things to get to that point. Yeah.
I was telling someone, my wife and I built a house a few years ago, and people like, how'd you do this and how'd you do that? And I was just like, well, I put the same focus that I had put in the artists and entertainment. I put all that same energy and focus directly into my household. And I saw the returns on that were far greater than the investment I made outside of my household. Yeah. And once I started doing it on a regular basis, things just changed. Like, I didn't know how wonderful my children were because I wasn't around them. And even though my little ones, they used to travel with me. They'd be at the radio station with me. They'd be out clubs, not clubs, but, venues, passing out flyers. I mean, my little ones, my youngest, he used to be in the car seat with me, going up to Hot 96 to see Santa and all that kind of stuff. And even though they were with me, I weren't as engaged as I should have been. So by the time my kids got middle school and going to high school, I made a conscious effort to be like, I got to turn all my attention here. You know what I mean? It just made, and doing that made social media like a non-factor. It became a complete non-factor. And then, I guess like I said, I turned the energy inside, and it was more beneficial. I just saw a greater return on the investment, financially and personally. Now that I had my TED Talk, tell us, and this is a part of our show that we always do at the end. It's called Random Statements. It's a random statement. Whatever comes in your head comes out your mouth, because that's pretty much how we live. We don't think before we speak. We just kind of let it fly. So, as our guest on the show tonight, please give us your closing random statement.
Anything off the top of your dome.
Do something.
Yeah. Do something.
Short, sweet. I can agree with that. G-Mac, what you got for us? Or you want to go last?
Of course, the boss goes last. So you go next.
All right, then. So my random statement is, remember where you came from. It gives you a great map of where you're going.
All right.
All right, G-Mac, what you got?
My random statement is, I've been doing a little twiddling on Discord, and we're getting a little buzz on Discord. So all of you new people, all of you new subscribers, people watching the show through Discord, welcome to the HoodCast, baby.
Welcome to the HoodCast, baby.
Yes.
Welcome to our new Discord.
We're expanding.
So right now, you can catch us on Facebook, you can catch us on Twitch, you can catch us on Twitter. We stream live through all those platforms. Instagram sometime, but it's a little funky because they don't like the perspective on it. Looks a little weird.
And I'm working on that too.
Discord. But G-Mac's the man behind getting us streaming everywhere, all over the place. We started off on Podomatic, and we ran up to, we were in the top 100 of 5,000 plus shows for a long time. We took a break, and then we came back. G-Mac said, listen, we're going to come back and do the show. We got to come back and jump right to the front of the line using modern technology and doing better things. And I got to give you props, G-Mac. He's been on top of it and getting us out there. So props to him. He's the reason why there's 3,000 or 4,000 people come and listen to us every twice a week. So I see a random stranger in the fucking grocery store. They're like, you do the HoodCast. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I never claimed, because I don't know what show they saw. So I don't know what I might have said. Piff, man, thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate you, dude.
Yes, sir.
This is always a home to you. Home to the Conduit, whatever that may be at this time. We had Bo on, of course. We had Ferocious. We've had Next. We've had Sean. Now we've been lucky to get you. And man, anytime you got something to promote, you always got a place here. Matter of fact, give us the exclusive. We want it first.
Right. Sure. I got something to say.
Definitely. All hey, right. So now that Takeoff project, I got one more question. That Takeoff, you said that was part of the web series.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we can catch that series on bigpiph.com.
Yeah, it's coming January.
All right. So listen, when you do that web series, if you have time, can you come back and introduce it here and let the people know when it's out there and talk about it?
Yeah, if y'all have me, I'm with
it. So we got to get Big Piph.
Y'all heard it. One of the first interviews in 2023, baby.
Yeah, that's how we coerce people to come back on the show.
Right.
So now we got you locked in. It's a verbal contract. You got to be here. That's what
Right.
sue your ass. Like Twitter, you don't buy us, we're gonna take you to court. All right, Piff. Thank you for having us, man. Thanks for having us in your home. Thanks for joining us. Y'all, it's been another one, HoodCast 311 with special guest Big Piph, aka Epiphany. We out of here, folks. Peace.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Piff, man. We'll see you next year, brother.
For sure.
Everybody, thank y'all. Everybody have a hood day.
Have a hood day.
Have a hood day.
HoodTech presents the HoodCast. HoodTech presents the HoodCast.